Bella. Come here, Bella. Hi, kitty. Bella. She's like, oh, yeah, we're going to go dog. She knows how to do that. There you go.
Hi. Well, you're staying too. Hey, little ferrets. Y'all are both standing up. Oh my. They're trying to come out the top. No, I'm not opening it. No. He's king of the hill. Oh my. I started hearing the noise and I didn't know what that was. He's hydrating? Oh my, they're the cutest little things. See, he's trying to jump up. The battery is low, but happy weekend. Wearing my Freddie Freeman shirt. So we are going to be mainly focusing on a mystery of mysteries today. So I just finished up a chapter and I wanted to talk about some of the things I talked about. It was the chapter that I last talked about in the last vlog where I read this, which was I think 2 vlogs back, but it was a really long chapter, so I had to like split it into sections just to make it easier for me to read, so I'm not getting bogged down by information and just being overloaded and not registering any of it. So Poe, he had a feud with Longfellow, and I thought that was interesting. And thinking of some of Longfellow's works, I can definitely see a correlation of how people think they might sound similar. Poe is accusing Longfellow of plagiarism. I talked about in the last vlog where we talked about a mystery of mysteries that Poe at this time was really known for being a critic, for being a reviewer, not a poet or a novelist. So that's what he was really known for in his lifetime, was being a critic. And he said that Longfellow was plagiarizing not necessarily him, but writers from Europe. I don't know if he was or not because I'm not that well versed on Longfellow, but I did have a book, the Paul Revere's Ride. I had a picture book as a kid. I wish I still had it. I might still have it somewhere in storage or something, but I used to love that book as a kid. So that's something where it was like, I think the author of this book really... I do think this book humanizes Poe by showing his flaws and showing the good about him, because it's like, yeah, it shows both. But it also makes Poe to be like the GOAT. It's like all other writers, it was like, earlier it talked about Byron, and it was like nobody reads Byron unless they are in school. Like they don't read, but everybody reads Poe. I only read Poe in school. I have not read Poe on my own yet. It is something I would like to do, but I don't. I have to find his book, because for classics I usually skip them at little free libraries because they are just so abundant. So it is something that I will do at some point, but still, so I didn't really like that. And then today, when it was like nobody reads Longfellow but everybody reads Poe, when I just told y'all as a kid I would be read some Longfellow stories. So I just don't like how they're saying like everybody is irrelevant except Poe, because no, we know Byron, we know Longfellow, we know them. They have relevance in America. I know Byron's not American, but they have relevance in literature, so I don't like that. And yeah, there are a lot of contradictions throughout this book. I kind of included that, but contradictions of, was he an alcoholic or was he not? Was he depressed? Was he not? Was he a perfectionist with his writing or wasn't he? So there's just a lot of contradictions throughout, and that's one of the things I don't like about the book. But okay, going back to just things in the story, is that Poe is always involved in some drama. So when his wife was dying, he had kind of a flirtatious relationship with, and that's another contradiction. They were like, there is no, when they were talking about syphilis being one of the possible causes of his death, they're like, there's no proof he was a ladies' man or whatever. Like, we don't know enough about his sexuality, but we've had several courtships mentioned. And so, yeah, so this one, there was this woman who he was having kind of a flirtatious thing with, where they would write poems back and forth, like published poems, but you know, they were kind of directed at each other. I think probably like singers could be writing songs back and forth about each other. Like some people say like some songs are about Taylor Swift where she wrote songs about Harry Styles, like that kind of thing. But his wife, Virginia, wrote a letter to the woman, I'm not remembering her name, who was the one he was having the flirtatious relationship with, wrote a letter, and people think that was her because she knew she was dying and wanted Poe to be happy, like to have someone else so he wouldn't be alone. And so there's that. And then there was just a lot of drama with that woman, with like her brother, and I don't know if she was married or not. There was just a lot of drama there, and there's just been a lot of drama with Poe with other people throughout this whole book. So he loved to be in drama, at least that's what this book makes it seem. Sitting here realizing I have yet to charge the camera, so I'm gonna send you this clip, then go charge it, and then update y'all. But I'm going to work on my puzzle while I listen to my audiobook. As you can see, I have all my stuff, so I'm getting the red pieces all separated from the rest. There's a lot of red in this puzzle, so that's, I don't know if choosing red as the first color was the place to start. Maybe green would have been better, but I think there's a lot of green as well. So we're just gonna do the red first, and then I need to move these. I have this tray that I got at Target. I originally got this as a prop for my Bookstagram, so when like the grass is wet, when I take outside pictures, I can just set my books on this rather than, you know, getting them damaged. So but I do use this for puzzle pieces as well when I'm working on puzzles. I've seen this really cool puzzle tables where I have Christmas gifts under this table, so I'm being careful, but where you can like pull out a drawer and there's like where you can put puzzle pieces. But I just, you know, I already have a table, so why not use what I already have? I'm looking at that behind me. That is so nice. I ordered the third one, and I think that'll be the final one on this wall, and then I'm going to put one on this wall and then one over there. I think the one over there is going to be a short one. I don't know. I think I could do another like 6 shelf. I don't know, but we have 3 more bookshelves that need to happen, but I did buy one today. The guy, he's awesome, who I buy them from. I've linked him before, so if you want to see that, just go find one of my bookshelf videos and he's linked there. I highly recommend buying shelves from him, bookcases. He does other furniture as well, but bookcases are what I need in my life. So I'm gonna shut up. I still have like 6 minutes because Delilah's walk was very short today, but I'm going to go plug in the camera and work on my puzzle and read. The camera's been charged and I finished the book. I don't think it looks like it's in focus. I don't like this. We're gonna go sit on the floor. Like, camera, don't be broken. Okay, that does look better, but I don't know. And why is the tag of this shirt like on the shoulder? I do not like that. Like, MLB, y'all can do better. But we're here to talk about the book, and I do have y'all a little higher up so you can really see it without being crooked. And I lower this so I don't have to hold a hardback book. Okay, there we go. So I do want to talk about one thing, one of the theories of his death, and then get into my review. They have reburied him several times. Just that happens. Like, my great-great-grandfather, they had to move his grave because of like flooding, so it's something that is quite common for, you know, old graves having to be moved. It's happened to several of my ancestors, and none of them were like Edgar Allan Poe famous, but so it has happened with him. And one of the times when they were moving the body, they heard like a rattling in his skull, and people were like, it was his brain, but obviously like the brain would be decomposed by then. And so a theory is that he had a brain tumor that calcified, and so there's just like a rock rolling around in his head. And I think that's really interesting. That was so long ago, they don't actually have proof that that is what it was, or if there even was a rattling, because, you know, people like to make up stories. So I just thought that was really interesting that it could have been something like that. But I do want to give my review now. So I'm giving the book a 3.5, and when I was just writing my review and seeing all the negatives I was saying, I feel like that could be generous, so maybe bump it down to a 3.25. But nevertheless, I went into Goodreads as a 3.5, which does show up as a 4-star. So what I liked about it, I liked that it peeled back the layers of Edgar Allan Poe, because we have him as this legend, as this really like mystery gothic figure known for writing horror stories, when no, there was so much more to the man than that. And I loved again to see that it showed the good and it showed the bad. It didn't glorify him in that sense, but and then the book was extremely informative, showing what his life was like. Now let's get into the negatives. I do think the book glorified him in a way by not really just him as a person. I think more so his writings, glorified his writings, acting like he's the greatest writer to ever exist. And sure, he can be who Mark Dawidziak thinks is the greatest writer. That's fine. But if you're writing this nonfiction book, I don't think there needs to be a bias. He acted like all these other authors, like I said, Byron and Longfellow, were irrelevant and that nobody reads them, when that is not true. I did not like that. I did find several contradictions throughout the book. We talked about alcoholism, his love life, sexuality, that kind of thing. Yeah, and mental health. I think there were several just contradictions with that. And I wasn't a huge fan with the formatting, but I found a way to make it work for me. I think the book with the formatting was rather jolting, from going from his life story to his death, going back and forth between those. I think we should have just done chronological order rather than going back and forth, because we would be reading about one thing, I'd finish the chapter, put the book down for the day, come back the next day, come back 2 days later, and be really confused of where we were, because we skipped 40 years, we jumped 40 years ahead. So what I did, what worked for me, was stopping in the middle of a chapter and then climbing back in for the day. So that, I wouldn't say it hindered my reading experience, but I did make note of it because I think it might hinder other people's reading experiences. So those are my thoughts on Mystery of Mysteries. I don't know what my next mood read's going to be. I have to go look in my basket and see what my options are and which one I'm more intrigued to pick up. But I did enjoy A Mystery of Mysteries. I would probably do it as a library book, since I gave it a 3, or an audiobook or ebook. And if you like those, then pick up the physical copy. But I did really enjoy my time reading about it, because I love learning all these random facts that I could just tell people around me, because I like to do that. So I did learn a lot from this book, and that's always the goal with nonfiction and with everything in life, is to learn something new. So I do appreciate it for that. But I am going to be ending the vlog here. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you made it all the way through, leave a Halloween, maybe, no, there's no raven emoji, so a Halloween emoji in the comments below. And as always, comment, rate, and subscribe. And don't forget to ring that notification bell to be notified when all my videos go live. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!